What's up, guys? Jason Guyman here tonight, and tonight I want to talk to you about how to get more leads and more jobs in 2025. You know, we actually had this conversation this week in my mentorship group about how to get more leads, how to get more jobs, what's a good close rate, should we do in person or online quoting? And it got me thinking about the little things that a lot of people don't do that we're losing out in the end. And what I'm going to talk about tonight doesn't cost you very little, if anything. And so that's what I'm going to talk about on this Sunday night. That is Happy Father's Day today. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. And at the end of this, I'm going to give away $500 to UZ Marketing. Now, what do you have to do to get it? You need to go to christmaslights.io/UZ. christmaslights.io/UZ. I don't know why my thing is being crazy, but this is where you will be able to get your $500 chance to win. So I will do that at the end of this around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock is when I will give that away. So this weekend has been a great weekend. I think that as I was talking to my people in mentorship, as I've been trying to get my new shop up and running, as I've been thinking about what can I do to help you better, and what can you do to grow your business, right? Because my goal is to help you grow your business. What I'm going to talk about tonight doesn't matter if we're talking about pressure washing or Christmas lights. Now, it will be a little bit different, as in if you do in-person quoting or do you do online quoting. And so it will be a little bit different, but it still has the same gist of what you're going to be able to get more leads, right? Because if you get more leads, the more likely you get more jobs. And that's the goal for you to be successful. So tonight, the book of the week is going to be a different one. It's a really short book. I listened to it today, and it's called ZAG, Z-A-G, ZAG. Mr. Justice Baker sent it to me the other day, said, hey, you should read this book. So I actually listened to it today. It's a very short book. It's not very long at all. It's only about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a very quick book, read or listen. It doesn't take very long at all. And I would highly recommend this book to you. It talks a lot about branding and how to zag when everybody's zigging, right? And so if you have not read that book, this was the first time I read this book. And with that, I would highly recommend you to read that book also. So it's called ZAG, Z-A-G, ZAG is what it is called. It's a great book. I highly recommend you to read it. So, how are you all doing out here tonight? We got Jeremy Olson in the house. Happy Father's Day, everyone. We got Steven. Let's get it. We got Daniel Smith. Hello and happy Father's Day to everyone. We got Miss Renee Schmidt. Happy Father's Day. And we got Wright's Pressure Washing that have all commented so far. So, let me give you some backstory of where I want to go with this. One of the hardest things of running a business is getting jobs. And for us to get jobs means we need to get leads. So how do we get more leads for our business? So let's see what else we got here going on. Anthony put working on CRM organization right now, building a business to be sold one day. That is awesome. Artie, happy Father's Day. And Mr. Jimmy Miller Happy Father's Day, everyone. And Mike Smith, Bearded Pressure Washing in the house. So, this is what I'm going to hit on. Doesn't necessarily going to help you get the leads event in the beginning, right? What I want to talk about is all the little things. I've always talked about the little things, but the little things at the end of the day are what makes you great and get more leads. So this is where I came up with this. One of the things is you get a lead, right? Let's say, let's go for this first. Whether you do online quoting, you can't do as much in the beginning, but you will be able to do it in the end. If you're doing in-person quoting, then this is something that we're going to be able to do from this beginning all the way through the end. Now, I get this, that this takes work, right? So I want to talk about the in-person quoting first. I'll talk about the in-person quoting first, and I want to walk you through how we can get more leads. That's all I want to hit on tonight. I'm not going to debate whether we should do in-person or online. I want to hit how do we get more leads. Now, this is one thing I will say with in-person quoting. Typically with in-person quoting, you should have a higher close rate and you should have a higher ticket. But on the same token, you can only do so many leads in a day. You can only do so many in-person quotes in a day. And that is what I want to hit on of the difference of in-person versus online. Online, I can get to them quick. I can do 100 leads a day. I can do all of that. In person, I can only do 5-6 jobs, quotes in a day. But here's where we let things go, and here's what we don't do for our Christmas light pressure washing business. Let's being that we're in pressure washing business right now, I'm going to kind of focus on the pressure washing. This also works for Christmas lights. So we get a lead. We get a yard sign out, we get a phone call, we get a lead. From that lead, are we doing the things on the phone to get more customers? And what do I mean by that? At the end of the phone call, are we setting the stage that we want referrals and we want reviews? Because if we're not setting the stage in the very beginning, at the very end, they're not going to give us a review or a referral. And both of those are going to give us more jobs. Right now, if you didn't know it, reviews are the ticket of getting more jobs on Google Business Profile. Reviews are huge because the AI is able to scan those reviews and get that information from those people, and they're getting a lot of stuff, high stuff out of it. So, reviews are super important in the pressure washing and Christmas lights, any service business out there. So, once we get the quote, and we got to go in person to give a quote, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give them a quote. But we're not just going to give them a quote and say, here you go. We're going to try to sell the job. And at the end of that, our goal as my business is that, ma'am, that you want to refer all your friends to me and you want to give me a 5-star review, right? I'm asking. But I'm not going to stop there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go walk the neighborhood, and yes, this is scary, but this is going to get you more leads. You want more leads? You want more jobs? This is how you're going to get those jobs. Because you're at Miss Jones' house, and their neighbors probably need your work too. So this is what, don't just go and put a door hanger on those neighbors. No. You're going to go and knock on doors until you get 5 people. 5 people to answer the door. So you're going to start at the neighbor's house, and you're going to walk down this way, and you're going to cut across, and you're going to walk down back this way, and you're going to do a 5 around or a 10 around. But your goal is to get 5 people to answer the door and talk to them. And this is what you're going to say. Hey, Miss Jones, right down the road here, I was in the neighborhood, and I just gave Miss Jones to get her house amazingly cleaned. Is that something that you would be interested in? I was seeing your house. I can walk around here and give you a free quote, and I can make that happen for you. And if they don't answer the door, I'm going to put a door hanger on every one of those 5 or 10 arounds that I did. Now, this is a little scary for a lot of you because you're going to go knock on a stranger's door. But if you're doing in-person quotes and you're not doing these little things, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, because all it's going to cost you is about 20 minutes to go knock on those 5-10 doors, because we know that not everybody is going to be home, and that way we're putting a door hanger on 5 of those around. So that's what we're going to do in the first place. So that's one way that we're going to get more leads. We're going to do this for any time we're doing in-person quoting. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go through a checklist of when my employee comes to work on Mrs. Jones' house, right? When Mrs. Jones comes and I'm going to do Mrs. Jones's house, my technician is going to have a checklist. This checklist is super important. I put this in both my Christmas light class, I put this in my pressure washing class. I teach this checklist because this is your Bible of this checklist. The checklist is very important. Listen to me. Watch me. The checklist is very important. And here's why. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to knock on the door. And we're going to say, Miss Jones, we're going to go through our spiel, we're going to talk. And at the very end, my goal is to make you so happy that you want to go tell your friends, that one friend that you have, and you want to give me a 5-star review. That is my goal. I'm starting at the technician from the beginning. And then here's the next thing you're going to do. I'm actually moving this. This used to be at the end. I'm moving it to here. The next thing your technician is going to do is he's going to take 5 around door hangers, and he's going to go knock on the 5 neighbors, 2 up the street, 3 across, 2 back. And he's going to do a 5 around. And when he knocks on those doors in the very beginning of this, he's going to say, hey, just so you know, Miss, I'm over here at Miss Jones. It's going to be a little loud out here. But it shouldn't take us no more than an hour, and we'll be out of your hair and you won't hear nothing. If you need any services, let me know. And we're going to do the 5 around. And then we're going to talk to if anybody knows 5 arounds, right? Because we've already built a relationship with Miss Jones, and we're coming to work on Miss Jones's house. The neighbors know Miss Jones, and they can't have a dirty house if Miss Jones has a clean house. So this is why we're going to do this right out of the get-go. Is this easy? Well, it's not hard. It might be scary, but you can do scary things. That's the key. Did you know that? You can do scary things. You can do hard things. And so you're going to go knock on those 5 and hand those door hangers out right then and there. Because we got to hook up the water first, let it build up, and then by the time we get back doing our 5 rounds, it'll be full. So the next thing we're going to do, is we're going to clean the house, we're going to do all of that, and we're going to get our pictures, right? Why are we taking pictures for? We're going to do our before pictures, we're going to do our after pictures, and the pictures aren't just a CYA, right? It's not just to cover your butt. Pictures are for marketing. That's why we take lots of pictures and take lots of far back pictures, maybe put our sign in the pictures. So that way we have photos to get more leads. I'm trying to get you more leads is what I'm trying to get you to do. So we got pictures. We're going to post those pictures on Facebook, Google Business Profile. We're going to make short little videos out of those pictures or videos, and we're going to post those to YouTube. We're going to post them to Facebook. We're going to post them to Instagram. We're going to post them to TikTok. We're posting them everywhere. We do this to get more leads. And if you're doing a commercial job, we're going to put them on LinkedIn so we can get more leads. When you do a big job, right? Maybe your big job's $1,000. Maybe your big job's $10,000. Maybe your big job's $100,000. Maybe your big job's $500,000. You want to take pictures of this and post it so that people know that you can do big jobs. That's the important key of why we take pictures and we post this stuff on our website, on all of those other things that I also talked about. This is how we get more leads. So once we're at the done, got our befores and after pictures, we're going to walk our customer around again, and we are going to say, "Awesome, Miss Jones." And as she walks around the house, she's going to look at it and says, "Man, this looks amazing." And you're going to say, "Awesome. Is there any reason why you would not give me a 5-star review?" And she's going to say, "No, that you did a great job." Well, next thing is you need to have a card and say, "Awesome. Here, let's do that right now, so that way I can help you if there's any reason that you couldn't get into it." And all you have to do and say, "Here, if you want me to help you, I can take your phone and scan this QR code, and it's going to go to and give me a review. And I can help you write it, or you can write it yourself. Only thing I would ask is to list the services that we've done for you. So if we did some pressure washing of the house, that we pressure washed the house and it makes it look great, and blah, blah, blah. And if you can put the location in this also, that will help me out a lot. And if you would put my name in there, my boss, he gives me a bonus every time it has my name in there. Because when we put the name in the review, it makes it more real. It makes it more real. And that's why we want to put the review in, your name in it. And here's the other thing. Give your guys a bonus for you. The reason why we do this right away is because I would bet the people that are on this live right now, if they all scan this QR code, out of the 25 people on here, I would bet that 5 people, 10 people can't get on to this, right? They won't be able to scan it. They're not logged into Google. They're not logged in. So what do we need to do then? Well, we have this amazing thing here. It's called a camera. And you can say, "Miss Jones, I see you're struggling on getting me a review. Will you give me a video testimonial and I'll just record it?" Because honestly, that'll even go better than a regular review. And so this is another way that we can give a review. Now, in 2025, we have this thing called AI. And here's what I'll say about AI. AI don't just pull from Google. AI pulls from Yelp. And Yelp, as much as I hate Yelp, it pulls from Yelp. So I would have a Yelp review on here also. And then you can say, Miss Jones, if you do a review on both of these, man, my boss, he is awesome and he gives me a double bonus. And then you get a double review, right? So this is another way that we're getting more leads because it's going to help our thing. And then we're going to say, Miss Jones, you know, we have a referral program. I need to know, do you know one person that needs my service that you would help me get in touch with them so that way we can help them also? Yeah, Miss Sue, she is my favorite person and she needs her house washed. We was just talking about this last week. Awesome. See, the only thing I'm doing here is I'm using my customer that I already paid for to get more leads. Because here's the thing. Whether you're doing it in person, whether you're doing it online, I just took one lead and now I'm going to get 5, 10 leads because she's going to do that. And the next thing I'm going to say is, Miss Jones, would you be willing to post about us on your favorite Facebook or favorite social media? It would really help me out a lot. And if you're in the neighborhood groups, tag us in there, right? These are all ways that will get you more leads. Whether we're talking pressure washing, Christmas lights, yes, can we do the yard signs? Can we do Google ads? Can we do Facebook ads? Yes, we can do those too. But why not get everything out of the squeeze that we can get it? Why do we want our average customer of $400, $500, $1,000 when the lifetime value of that one customer could be $10,000, $20,000? I've had people where I've given stuff away to them and they just love that and they keep pushing my stuff out, right? Because they know that I'm helping them. You know, at my last class, David Hamill was there and he was talking about Texas Roadhouse and how if you buy, I think, $1,000 worth of gift cards, you pay $900 or $800. I don't know if it's 10% off or 20% off. I think it's 10% off. So you only got to pay $900 for $1,000. And here's the thing. Those gift cards are going to make you a lot more money than $1,000. So that's what I'm talking about. When you go to this customer's house, make sure that we're working on not just get the job done. This is what I see so many times, is you're on the truck and you're doing truck duties. You're working a $15 an hour task. I can pay anybody $15 an hour, $20 an hour to go pressure wash houses, to go hang Christmas lights on houses. But I already got that money. How do I go from that money I already got to new jobs? This is the small things. And we're not going to stop there. Because if we stop there, we're not keep doing the little things. Next thing we're going to do is the next day, we're going to call Miss Jones and say, hey, Miss Jones, I just seen if you still liked everything and if you had any issues. No, it did really great. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I see that you gave me a 5-star review. I appreciate it very much. Do you know anybody that may need some pressure washing? Because we're going to ask again. We're not going to just be like, bleh, done. And then, you know what? We're not going to even stop there. Then we're going to send them an email, and we're going to send them text, and to follow up to make sure that they're happy and thank them. And if they would give us a review, if you're not asking for these reviews, you will not get them. If you are only asking for reviews through the email, 1-2 email at the end of each job, I promise you, you will not have email, or you will not have reviews. I know people that have been in business 5-10 years, and they did not make it a priority to get reviews. And now it's hurting them because they're not getting leads from the Google Business Profile. The dude that started last year has got 100 reviews, and he's got 20 reviews. Guess what? Google loves reviews. Google loves to, when you send people Google, then they love and they return to give it back to you. And this is why it's important that we make sure that we are going through and doing the little things that set us apart. So what are you doing for the little things? What are you doing that's going above and beyond? Are you just doing the job and being done? Are you just going and doing the in-person quote to the one house and not asking for a review when it's done? Not ask for a referral? Why would you do that? You're already there. Let's get more business from them. You know, referrals are amazing. It's literally free money. You're printing as you go. But the only way you get these is by asking and going after it. If you assume that it's just going to happen and it's just going to make it one way or the other, I promise you it's not going to go well for you. This is what's going to separate you from your competitors. See, most of you, when you first start, go and call your competitors. And 1 or 2 out of 20 will answer their phone and give you a quote. But what you really should do is not just get their quote. What do they do? How do they sell to you? How do they sell after? Go ahead and pay for them to come and do the service. If you know somebody in the area that does amazing customer service, that does all these little things, go find out what it is. You know, Perfect Power Wash. I did a quote from them, and they will call you 3 times a day, 5 days a week. Do you call your customer back 1 time a month? 1 time a year? Do you even call them back? Or do you just assume that's a dead lead? That is what separates you from your competitors. When you are following up and you are making sure and you're asking the little things as we're going through, that's what separates you from your competitors. So, with that, this is what I've got. I've got to give away $500 tonight. I said I was going to give it away on Father's Day, and guess what? Today is Father's Day. It's $500 worth of marketing materials. You can use it for yard signs. You can use it for door hangers. You can use it for whatever. But you will need to go to christmaslights.io/UZ and sign in there. And at 9:45 is when I'm going to cut it off, because I've got to put all of this into a spreadsheet and put it into the little spinny wheel thing, so that way I can get this done for you all. So if you haven't done it already, go to christmaslights.io/UZ. If you're a pressure washer, you can use it for pressure washing signs. It's just a $500 gift card. I won the gift card. I'm giving it back to you all, because you all helped me win the gift card. So I'm giving it back to you. and this is how I'm giving it back to you. So if you haven't done it yet, go to christmaslights.io/uz. One other thing too, I'm having an in-person training coming up. And if you want to learn more tactics and how to grow your Christmas light business or your permanent light business, you need to check it out. christmaslights.io/IPT, in-person training. I don't have any pressure washing classes coming up yet, but I am planning on doing 1 or 2 this year at my new shop that I'm trying to get into. I'm not in yet, but I'm going to get into it. And so if you are interested in learning how to do pressure washing and learning how to do marketing, I don't just teach about pressure washing. I can teach any 18-year-old, 19-year-old how to pressure wash. You can be the best damn pressure washer out there or Christmas light installers, but if you don't know how to sell, and if you don't know how to do marketing, you're not going to have no jobs. And so when I do my training, I have 1 full day of how to do or how to do marketing and sales and how to get jobs. And I teach you how to use AI, and I teach you how to grow a business. You know, with mentorship that I have, it's been really awesome to see guys have great success. To see guys like Spencer that's going to go from, he went from about 300,000 to over 550,000 last year with him just starting with me, to this year he's going to be knocking on the door of a $1 million business. Or Jeremy Main, that you can go see at this in-person training and learn from him too, because he's going to talk a lot about mindset. How he started off as a garbage man, and last year he did over $1 million in his business. So it's neat that you guys that are the ones that are taking action and making it happen, because business is not easy. If anybody ever tells you business is easy, they're wrong. Because have you ever had a Karen call you before? That'll make you start losing hair more than anything. When they start calling you and hollering at you. You know, there was an incident this week that's close by to me that 2 landscapers pulled up and were doing a job cutting this dude's grass at his house because the HOA was on him, and he came outside and started shooting. So that would make it very stressful. But again, I just want to hit on, it's one of the things that is going to separate you is the little things. Are you sending a thank you card at the end of the quote? You know, I know a person that when they go do an in-person quote, they send a thank you card that day. Plus, you're going to get emails, and you're going to get text, and you're going to get more emails, and you're going to get more text. This is a thank you card from the quote alone. I'm not talking about at the end of the job. These are the things that separate you from your competitors. Because I would bet that 99.9% of people are not doing this. Why? Because it's hard. But you know what? You can do hard things. That's the difference between you and your competitor. And I don't care what they're charging. I don't care any of that stuff. Because they're not doing the things that's going to separate you from them. So, yeah, they might be cheaper, but the likelihood of they're going to, when the job is done, they're going to get a call back. They're not coming back out there. They're not coming back out there to take the Christmas lights down when they're charging $4 a foot, because they're broke. And you know what broke people do? They don't work because they're broke. Now, you can do this. I was broke when I started this business. I did not have everything when I first started this business. I had $2,000 on debt to get me up and running. And I was a $99 guy. I literally did stuff for $99. It was Groupon, and they charged $200, and I got $100, and they got $100. And they didn't have to do nothing but take my money. So I don't want to hear it of, Jason, you just don't understand. Oh, I understand. But here's the one thing that's going to separate you from everybody else. It's the 6 inches between your ears. Because if you believe that you are awesome and you can do this, and you believe that you're worth $1,000 an hour or whatever it is, and you are confident in it and you show it, then they will believe you also. But if you don't believe in it, your customers aren't going to believe in it either. So that's the thing that you got to see. The link doesn't seem to work. Don't tell. I know it's working because I've gotten a gazillion people doing it. Christmaslights.io/UZ is the link that you need to do. Like I say, I know that it's working because I see that people are coming through. Or unless you all broke it on me. Let's see if anybody's just came through here as I look. Alright, let me go. If y'all got any questions about pressure washing, Christmas lights, marketing, put them in the comments. I love answering your questions. So, what's up, bleach sprayer? Let's see here. Hey Jason, happy Father's Day from one soccer dad to another, brother. That's right. Have you ever got your Facebook page deleted and had to start over? Yes, I've actually have had it deleted, and it's a pain in the butt, and it's not fun, but you just got to get it done and go do it, right? You can't let that hold you back. You just got to go for it. Let's see here. Yeah, someone just signed up at 9:33. Mike Smith. Jeremy Olson. Used AI today to come up with a customer cycle and communication process. Pre-sale, post-sale, on the job, and after the job. That's awesome, dude. That's 90% of the work that you got to do right there. Had a guy post in his Tiger 21 club last year, and we made $35,000 from that one post. That right there is what I'm talking about. This here is why we asked them to post, because without you asking, you would have never got that $35,000 job. So how much is it worth to you to ask? Is it worth $35,000 because you're too scared to ask, to lose $35,000? Just asking. Is it worth it to lose $35,000 because you won't ask? if they can post it in their favorite social media group. I'm late in the building, but I'm in the building. Happy Father's Day to you, Jamie. I put out signs around my area this year. I picked up some good jobs. Imagine that. Here's the other thing I want to say too. I actually missed a step. If you're going to do in-person quotes, you need to be putting yard signs out on the way there. So that way you're in that neighborhood, they see that, they see the 5 around that you do, they get to see you everywhere. Would be interested in the pressure washing training. Awesome. I'm going to probably do it in August because I've got a lot going on right now. I've got a lot of trainings coming up, and I've got a lot of stuff that I'm out of town. So I am planning on doing a pressure washing class this year. My new shop, I intentionally cleaned the inside of it, but I left the outside of it dirty. So that way I got a nice wood table that we'll be cleaning some wood. We'll be cleaning the concrete. We'll be cleaning the building. So that's why I left it dirty, so that way you get to play on the dirt. Type it in right. It works. I just did it, then scroll down to enter. It's working. The text you enter isn't very dark. Well, here, I tell you what I can do too, because I only got 2 minutes here. Hurry up. Christmas lights. I'll actually send the link out to everybody here in the chat. .io/UZ. There we go. Copy. I'm going to post it in there for y'all. Paste. There you go. That's wrong. Copy. Paste. There we go. That's right. The second one's right. The first one was wrong. Let's see. What other questions? I've seen... if you remember, about 3 months ago, I said I was aiming to call 75 commercial job places to clean. I do remember. After coming out short a couple weeks in a row, I cut it down to 50. I now have 27 shopping plazas. That's awesome. So that right there is freaking amazing, because you took action and it happened, right? This is the importance of the little things. You know, I was talking to Daniel, and he does a lot of calling too, and he went almost a month without getting 0 jobs, and most people would have given up on it. But he just closed a big job the other day because he didn't give up, and that's the importance. Jason, I got them from you pushing, and I appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you too for getting that done, because that is awesome. Needless to say, I'm not scared to ask for work. That's all you got to do, right? You just got to ask. Where are you going to do the class and cost? So the one in Michigan, the Christmas light, are you talking about pressure washing or Christmas lights? Christmas lights, I've got a couple coming up. You can check it out. The one in Michigan is next week. It is $1,000, $500 for any other person that comes with you. And I promise you it will be awesome. It was awesome last year. We had it up there in Michigan with Jeremy and Jennifer. It's a great time. I know every customer is not your customer. I feel like I'm not getting 2-story houses as much as I'm getting 1-story houses. Well, what do you have a lot of 1-story house pictures, or do you have a lot of 2-story houses? Those are all things that could be different. What would you recommend labor percentage to be? On our deck and fence building, we are too high at 35%, but they demand more money. I really would want to be at the 25% range for labor, but depending on how much work they are doing would be the difference of how much I would be willing to pay. Because I know some people pay 50%, but they never touch the job. So, like, they make 50%, but he cleans the deck, and then the other people do all the rest of it. They do the painting, they do everything. So, that's kind of where that is. I get more 2-stories over single stories. I'd rather do a 2-story than a 1-story. Do you charge more for heavy moss? So I'm assuming that you are in up north or out west, and I probably would charge more, just because with moss you kind of gotta, it's a whole different beast. Around here we don't have a lot of moss, but I know like upper New York starts to get some, and then over on the west coast gets a lot, and that's kind of where it is. Advice on oxidation removals for beginners on a metal barn. Run fast as you can. I know there's stuff out there that they quote unquote say that you just spray it on and you rinse it off. I promise you it's not that easy. It sucks. It will take you twice as long as you think it will, because you will need to brush everything that you have to do. So it is one that when you are doing that, make sure that you are charging premium. Make sure you're charging restoration, not cleaning prices. I always told people if the price was $500 for cleaning, restoration, you're at $2,500, because it sucks. And I'm going to be brutal honest. It sucks. I know there's people out there that you can get the Cleanse All BC, you can get the other crap that they call, whatever it's called, but I promise you, it is not as easy as they show it. Yeah, I figured you were up north. So out there is really good money, don't get me wrong. In fact, that's who I was talking about. Spencer is out in that area. That's in mentorship with me. That's going to probably be beating on the $1,000 door. His win for this week was he is going to get off the truck, which is an amazing win. That's what's going to help him get to where he needs to be at. So again, with moss, it's one of those things that you kind of agitate it a lot of times. You spray it and then you go with it. I know there's a lot of money to be made with it. I also know there's a lot of cheap guys out there too. So don't worry about the cheap guys, because you got to worry about yourself. It's hard in the beginning, but saying no to jobs is sometimes the best decision you will make. Because if not, you will learn from your failures and your mistakes of not listening to old Jason saying to run fast. Because you're like, but Jason, that's a $3,000 job. Or I'll tell you one I had. That's a $1,200 job to put this sealer on this driveway. And it cost me $1,200 worth of strippers to strip this stuff off and put a different type of chemical down in 2 days worth of labor that I made goose egg on. So that's how I learned the hard way. I'm 30 minutes south from Louisville. Oh, so you're just you're right down the road from me then. Yard signs do not get picked up in my area. With my competitor's sign in high traffic areas, do I put mine next to theirs or on the find other places? Do you suggest? I suggest to put it right next door. Don't put it in front of it. Don't put them side by side, because it's the rule of Coke versus Pepsi, the thing that they did. With a Coke machine here, it only made $200. When a Pepsi machine came right next door to it, they both made like $300, because it's not a yes or no question at that point. It's not pressure washer 1 or no, it's pressure washer 1 or pressure washer 2. And so that's why I would put them nice and neatly right next to each other. So that way when someone takes a picture, you're getting two quotes. Hopefully this competitor is a higher end competitor and not a cheap competitor. But if he's a cheap competitor, that's fine too, because he's not always going to answer his phone. So that's what will separate you. What is the total of people you got to $100,000? I am going to be one of those people. Start grinding. I would say I am over 1,000 people at this point, is where I'm at. But I'm still here. I'm still helping people, and you can do it too. I know you can. You've been working hard at it. You're going to keep working hard at it. You're going to take the little things that you learn and take action, and that's what's going to make it happen. You can definitely do this, and I know I'm not going to use the words that I usually say, because those are words that don't help you out, right? Because when I remember you, it's Jamie from the ghetto. But you're not Jamie from the ghetto. You're just Jamie. Because when I associate it with the ghetto, then that doesn't help you out, because that gives you ghetto mindset. And you're an amazing person, and you can do this. And the words I'm using for you is the words that you have to get out of your mind too. You can't be saying, I'm from the ghetto. That was in the past. In the past, I'm in the ghetto. But in the future, I'm going to hit $100,000. That's the important key of the words you speak. Because the words you speak are the words that you're going to see in your future. So I'm speaking that you're going to hit $100,000. That's what you're going to do. I'm not saying in the past it was the ghetto. In the future, we're not going to look at that. We're not going to say those things. Because the words that come out of your mouth go back into your ears, into your brain, and guess what? It will believe that. And this is the importance of the words you speak. The people you become around is going to separate you from the people you was in the past. That's why it's important to get around successful people. That's why with success, sometimes we have to take our old friends and put them over here. Sometimes we have to take our family and put them over here, because that is what's going to hold you back. 80% of the time to 90% of the time, those are the people that will say that you can't do that. And if they're speaking that and your brain is listening and hearing it, it's hard to overcome that. That's why they're over here now and we're going to move over here. And I'll just be honest. As an entrepreneur, as you get higher and higher, it gets lonely sometimes because there's not a lot of people that can come around you, surround you, and help you grow. That's why, on Monday night Zoom call, I get the same group most of the time coming because they're like-minded people, and that's their time that they get with around like-minded people because they want to see each other and they want to grow to where those other people are. So it's important that, Jamie, that you speak what you want, you write it down, you hammer that in your brain. I know that you may have been told different things in the past, and you just got to start telling yourself that you can do this. I know you can do this. You've been showing up on this live for a year, 2 years. You can do this. I promise you. In fact, if you need to, reach out to me. Send me an email, and I can help you in any way I can help you. Bardstown. You're down there by Southside Equipment. Right next to them and be the first to answer the phone. Yep. I don't doubt I would be $400 to $500 per hour washing in the east. I am in the west. I'm at $300 per hour. You can get the $300 to $400 an hour, $400 or $500 out west too. Just so you know, I know you can because I've got somebody out there and they're making the $400 or $500 an hour. Again, this comes back to mindset. This comes back to believing what you can believe, right? Mindset is the number one thing that's holding you back. You don't believe it, you won't achieve it. You got to start believing that you're worth that. This here is the hardest thing that I have to help people overcome. The words they speak are probably the number one thing that sets them back, because the words they speak is huge, and if they don't believe it, they will never achieve it. They can't sell it at that point because they don't believe in themselves. So be consistent. Jelly Roll said it best. There is a reason the rear of your mirror is smaller than the windshield. Yep, don't look back. I don't look at where I came from. I see how far I've come and how much further my momentum will push me. And here's a great, I don't think I have that book here. That you are 100% right. And I can't even think of the name of the book. What's the name of the book? It's a blue book. That is 100% true, and I can't think of the name of it. My brain is lost on it. 100,000 is super easy for me to get there now. Yep. Dane Kennedy has a book, No BS Pricing Strategy. Hey, that ain't the book I was thinking of. Shoot, what's the name of the book? Now it's aggravating. I don't think I have it in here. What's the name of the book, Jason? I got all the other books. I can't think of it. The Gap in the Game. The Gap in the Game. Right? You want to look at how far you come, not where you missed. So The Gap in the Game is a great book. Oh, so let's get this show on the road here. I know I forgot about my drawing, but I want to make sure everybody gets in the drawing. So again, if you want to know about training while I'm doing this, if you got questions while I'm working on this, I will try to do two things at once. I don't know, but I do know quite a few people have just signed in here for that UZ marketing giveaway. Let's see. Let me refresh this to make sure it's up to date. Mindset 100%. I have had to start focusing on pressure washing business. I've been putting all my time and effort in my other side hustle with welding and fabrication. You know, and that's true too. You got to pick one thing and be great at it. Great work. First year was a little rough, a little tough. I hit 100,000 by the end of March every year. That's awesome, bro. Getting to the next customer using yard signs I thought was impossible and cheap. Now even police officers congratulate me for putting or congregate me for putting yard signs. Alright, let's see here. Okay, so I gotta go here to UZ. I want to make sure everybody's in here. I don't want to leave anybody out because there's been about 20 people in here. More added to it. Export. Alright, exporting that out. Save this. I got to use a little AI here. I have a question regarding Christmas light pricing. Do you charge your pricing year to year, or do you keep the same price every year? I have a question. Do you change your pricing? So I would do one of two things. I will maybe give a discount if you return and get set up before October 31st. I would maybe do a 5 to 10%. But I also know people that will give that as a bonus of, hey, if you sign up this year, we will lock in your price for the next 3 years, and we're not going to raise your prices. Yes, we know inflation is going up, and we are going to keep your price the same all 3 years. And so that's a way that you can do that to be able to do it for that. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once, but I want to get this list in here. Pull all the emails and put it into a list. So that's how that works. Let's see. Those do not look like emails. Why are you being stupid? It worked earlier. Those are not emails. I know it. Sorry about that. I just want a list of emails. It worked earlier today, now I don't want to work. So let's recap from what I talked about earlier today. What are you going to start working on the little things? What items of little things are you going to start working on in your business? What are you going to do to start working on the little things that we have not been working on in the past? put them in the list. I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on here for that. Yeah, everyone like this video while we wait. There we go. Now we got her. Now she's coming. Sweet. Hopefully I can, let's see. Put them in a CSV file style so I can copy them over line by line, each one in one line. Routine and structure. That's a good one because that helps your customer. Automation and scraping tools to contact customers directly. Consistency. You know, consistency is probably one of the most important things that you can do. It's not about doing it like big, it's just about doing it consistently, right? You got to do it over and over and over, even sometimes when you don't want to, and that's what you got to do. Copy. Alright, let's see if this is going to work. Paste. We don't need email in there. Alright. Alrighty. Let's see here. Alright, so we're going to go to scene. Hope so. There we go. Alright, here we go. We'll see who's going to win $500. Click to spin. And the winner is going to be... I'm going to take a picture of that. I don't know who that is. Jeremy Olson. I do know who that is. That's awesome. Mr. Jeremy Olson. $500. Again, you can use it for... I will send you the link for it. It's a gift card that you can use it using marketing. It's $500. You can use it for yard signs. You can use it for brochures. You can use it for whatever they have. And I will get you that link for you. I'm kind of excited for you because you're always on here and asking questions and always show up. So that's pretty cool. So there you go. You won. I don't know if you won many times, but you won tonight. So pretty cool. So with that, that's all I have. Again, thank you all for coming out. We do have some in-person training coming up with Jeremy up in Michigan. It'll be awesome. ChristmasLights.io/IPT. I'll be putting together for some pressure washing classes probably in August, but for sure get that done for you. Congratulations, Jeremy. Holy crap. Thank you so much, Jason. No problem. Thank you for coming on. I do appreciate people like Jeremy Olson that show up week after week and learn and grow and has had very good success with his business because he has been consistent and he's consistently growing, taking action and making things happen. So with that, hopefully you all have a great week this week. Go be great this week. Go do awesome things. And with that, I'll see you next week.